Boom, they're dry. I'm going to use different tails from my parts department. Oh, this one has fins. I'm going to have to take off the fins because I like doing this with them right here. Boom, you put them on a little clip, right? And now you can wear them as a pendant on your necklace. All right, so let us move things around. Let's sit down. Let's get the show going. We'll put that down there. Oh, look what we have. There she is, boys. There she is. Look at that. That's a 15-pound lobster fin underneath, okay? This is a nice sized lobster. Look at the size of its fins right there, right? This fin was off a 15-pound one. So, let's put that back over there. Let's pop that on, and let's get to getting. Let's get to getting. Let's put that right there so people can see the Air Force One of one. And that's what my weight belt's made out of, 50 cal bullets. All right, enough bragging about myself. Where's my coffee? Give me a minute. Jesus criminy. Give me 1 second. Oh. What a slowness to the show. Way to bring it to a halt, my dude. Okay. Let's throw a hat on. And let's get to the art projects. Here we go. I'm excited. This will be a real quick show. So we have the bottom. It's all dried out. We have the top. We have the top. What tail did we decide to use? We decided to use this tail with this one. Here we go. Right there. Alright, and then we have the bottom. We have and then what tail did we decide to use with this one? We decided to go with a darker colored tail from the backstop. Now, before I epoxy them, I am going to dip this one in the water and get the tail so it's fanned out like this. I like that look. As you can see up there, that's the look I'm going for. So, let me show you, let me show you that this is all fucking straight up. So this is how you measure a lobster underwater, is you got a lobster gauge. This one's a custom, it says Seawolf, and then it says Bug Brothers on that side. But you put it here, right here, and if their eyes move, and this goes past this part, you're fucked. So if you go this way, right, it's going to have its tail on it, but if you go this way, and you hit down, it doesn't move. So I put it right there, and this one is legal, as you can see. All mine are, especially if I'm going to taxidermy them. This one's a little bit bigger. Some ones you don't need to use a gauge on when they're 15 pounds. So what else do we need? We need the body to that one. All right. I don't need that anymore. And let me just unstick them from that'll go to parts department. All right, here's his body. Come on up. Oh no, don't break anything. All right, we will move this over. Boom, boom. And then we'll place that on there. These can be moved to the side. They're going to keep drying. Okay, here we go. Gosh darn it. Like I said, if you're enjoying this kind of content, I go live every night, 5:30 p.m. on Instagram and Facebook. TikTok is just the music behind my same videos that you have seen. So if you enjoy that, please follow me along. I'm going to make more in Method in 2020-25. 2020-25. For YouTube. I started out here. I've done this for 20 years. And now I'm going to go back and modify. 2024, I went back to Facebook and Instagram just to polish my skills up for the live. And now I'm back. I'm going to start doing more lives. Okay. So, first of all, you can cut all this up. I don't think I'll need to, unless this doesn't fit back on top. But you want a nice You want the body to come all the way down like that, okay? And then you just simply glue right now. I'm just going to glue it on there so it stays with the foam. Okay. And then once the that hits, then we'll glue the tail on. Like I said, a real quick show. We'll glue the tail on, and then we'll shoot foam into it. Now you don't want to put too much foam, otherwise the foam will expand, and this is still a very brittle stage on these shells. So I've cracked shells before, I've lost some. I know how to not lose any more. Man, this thing came together quite nicely. How quick was that? Okay. Now we're going to go for this shape right here where the tail's bent down just a little bit. So for that, we just go like this. Uh-oh, glue stick. Hang on, coming to you. There we go, got it. And then we're just gluing right here. Just throw it right there. And then I also like to glue the top of the tail right here. Okay? This is just to hold it together so when the foam's being squirted into it, it doesn't expand and push up. Now I need to look at it from the top side because I need to make sure there's no cracks. And man, that one came together beautifully. I couldn't have asked for a better. So now I'll just flip it back over until it dries. Like this. Alright, now we're just going to let that one dry. Move the shoe, Air Force One Nike. That's all lobster skin, by the way. This is all lobster skin that I retained under the ocean, and we built this Nike Air Force One 1 of 1. It has a gaping asshole of 11-pound lobster on it. That would be that lobster over there that I caught 7 years ago. Why gaping? I just thought it would be fun. Alright, so we got this guy done, ready to, you know what, let's just finish this guy while we have him. Here we go. This is how you do it. Get some great stuff from Home Depot. That's all you need, just a little dab will do you. And this one is done, and it's not done. What's going to happen next is this is going to dry this afternoon. I'll come back. I'm shooting and filming up there, so I'll make a nice short of this. But this one right now, as it sits, needs another foot right here. As you can see, this one, I have a parts department over there. I've done this for 25 years. Every single one of my lobsters, I take the meat out of the legs and the head because there's more meat in the legs and head than there is in the tail. I know you guys are all just used to a tail, right? And this is a smaller tail. It's legal, but smaller. I get the 15-pound lobsters, right? Their tails are 3-4 pounds each. So, this is now completely finished. I should zoom in on that. No, I'll just leave it like it is. So, I'm going to leave this one alone. We'll move to this one, do the same thing. Alright. So, I'm just going to go, so it even has more glue on it, right here, and here this time. I didn't do it last time, but let's just see. It's all learning. The taxidermy part isn't learning, because I perfected that part, but you want to get it back to where it was hinged before. You don't want to break it. And this one is not performing as. There we go. That's what I want. I want a nice, clean wrap fit around everything there. Okay? Now with that, I'm just going to hold it for a minute while the glue does harden. I don't want it to pop back out on this process. So then I will throw a little glue there and a little glue here. This is where they hinge themselves. This is where they would, if you've watched my videos, when they molt, they unclip themselves here and here, and then they throw the top of the shell off, and then they wiggle out of it, and then they disconnect their tail. Oh, I just got glue all over my, okay, well, I should pay attention. So with this one, like I said, and this one, the next process, which you won't see until I come live again this afternoon, is I'm going to fix the leg here. I'm going to fix the tail here. I'm going to dip this in water and reposition it so it's not all curled up. And then I'm going to paint them if they need touch-up. I have touch-up paint right, god damn, right here. I'll add their antennas. That's the last thing I do before I epoxy them, is I add their antennas. Let me just put this guy down. As long as he stays together, we will be... There we go. God damn. Okay. We are getting this glue everywhere. The good thing about this glue, as soon as it hardens, it just comes right off. So let me show you what I'm talking about with the extra parts. I have 5 boxes of these antennas, right? So I'll just put antennas on them. It doesn't matter if they're the real ones or not. That one was kind of too big for that one. This is probably its original right here. So don't worry, I know what I'm doing. These have to go up high even when you epoxy them. Otherwise people will come and look at them and they cannot not touch them, so they will break them. When they do break them, not a big deal. You just cut them off and put new ones on. If you've been following me, you'll know the process. It's super, super fucking easy. So, let's see here. I cannot see comments, so if there are comments, forgive me for not answering. I will answer after this show's over. I'm recording up here on the top one because I want to record this for a short, shall we call it. Alright, so this one is now glued. Let's do the same thing. We just want to attach the tail right here into there, just like that. Now, if I don't like how the legs are on these, before you epoxy them, I like them spread out. But if you don't want them spread out, if you want an action figure type shot, then you would, then you just get them wet and then remold them and put them back on there for a couple days on the styrofoam. So, that being said, boom, boom, boom. We're going to go along the top of the shell, put that down. We'll do the top of this shell. Boom. And then we're just going to connect before the foam. Before the foam. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. This is going to be a great year for me. Lobster season will be happening for another till the middle of March. And then what happens is I switch over to halibut. As you can see behind me on the whiteboard, I got 900 pounds of halibut last year spearfishing, and I got 43 of them. My biggest one was 42.8, not the biggest. I went to Alaska and I went fishing up there and I got a 76 pounder, a 50 pounder, and a 65 pound halibut. And then I got another small one, but I was allowed to have two a day, and I can have 4 in my possession where I went, and the people I went with, my friends. So, I'm trying to spear the world record halibut, and that's going to be in Alaska, and it will be on tank. So, I know it won't count for a lot of people, but that's your guys' beef, not mine. For you free divers, I'm not fighting with you. I'm not going to tell you you're better than me or worse than me. So, like I said, these fins right here, this was an old shell. I normally take them off, but this is what they'll end up looking like. And then you can just clip them on as accessories to your gold chains, silver chains, whatever you're rocking. So I do need to remove these ones because they're nice. This was a nice female. This is a male body. You could tell by their feet in the back. Big fins will cover up the eggs. This is where they keep their eggs right here. So these big fins will cover up their eggs. I don't even know if this is... Let's see here. Snip, snip. See if we could just snip them. You sure can. Look at that. Now this should just pop off, hopefully. I don't want to fuck this thing up. Okay, if I put that in water, it'll come back to life. So, It's another nice one. You cannot, I don't need these underneath, and the reason why I don't need them underneath is because when they're up on a wall or wherever they're at, right, you're looking at this side, you're not looking at this side. So that being said, I don't need a lot of these. Or I can do jewelry art with these, fish art. The fish art is having a problem with me being in their groups because I guess I'm not an artist to them. I don't know how much more of an artist you can get, but I'm not here to fight with the art people. Man, either you accept me into your group or you don't. This is real art though. It's an art form. You go ahead and try it. You go down and deal with the natures of the ocean. Sharks, sure. If you watched, you saw a shark. I tried riding a 7-gill shark. He did not like it in my last video, the last short. Alright, we are almost done with this video. This is a male. As you can see, these are a lot smaller. These are the ones I want for the fish art earrings that I have. Let me show you. These are halibut that I kill. Oh, Jesus. These are halibut that I kill, and these are their fins. This is the spine from a halibut, this is the white side, and this is the gray side. Beautiful, beautiful. This is lobster earrings from the lobster tails. I'm also into, as you can see by my Nike Air Force Ones, right there. I'm also into lobster leather, and I'm the only one grabbing it for some reason. You say, what's lobster leather? Well, when they molt, this is what you're going to get from them. This is their new skin. It's only soft for a couple days until it's not. Those are its eyeballs right there. Okay? So here's its tail. No smell. I learned how to perfect it. I tanned it perfectly. And behind me, right over there in that pickle jar, is a 12-pound lobster that molted. I'm going to get the same thing as that, right? I got the legs. See the legs? I got the antenna. See the antenna? More legs. They're all legs. Another top body, right? There's no crunching, so I tanned it well. That's its horns that you grab. Just like I said, mind-blowing to fish art people that I'm not allowed in your group yet. But hey, I thought we weren't supposed to, well, I don't know. Doesn't matter. Listen, you don't want me in your group, you don't want me in your group. Let's go ahead and let me show you how I do this with, I'm filming, so give me a second. The camera's up top. And that'll hold this body together no matter what. You don't need to do the tail, it's not going to crack. And that is, besides the antennas put on, besides getting epoxy so it looks wet forever, here's what I like to do, and I will show you one last step, which is a pretty cool step. I put what I'm going to do is I like to hang them, as you can see. So I'm going to put little hooks on these ones. These ones are smaller, so they don't need the big hooks. And I think this size is a little too big. Do I have? Give me 1 second. Here we go. Buddy was throwing these out the other day. I said, I'll take them. This one might need a little bit bigger one because it has a bent tail. I don't know yet. Let me see. So basically, just find the middle spot. There we go. That broke a little too much. I didn't like how that worked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prop it up. Well, I'm not. I don't know what I'm going to do here. It's just going from, no, I don't like that either. That was too big. Well, not everything works out perfect. let us just throw some glue on there. Just keep this like this for a minute. Alright, let's move on. This one was a fucking disaster. But, what if I go like this? Improvise and move on. Okay, watch. There it is, right there. Boom, boom. Let me throw some of this glue on here so when it does, there, we saved it. All right, now we're gonna go for this one. I'm gonna even go with a smaller bit for that guy. And that guy, honestly, let me see first. If this is down like this. No, I'm gonna need a bigger screw, which I think I need to go to Home Depot. I think I used them all. Let me just look real quick, make a little, well, no, here we go. We got some bigger ones right here. Perfect. All right, my guy, we are gonna get you all set up. Let's do a little smaller. I think I could use this one. Let's not mess around. Let's go with a nice smaller one. We just need the hole to start and then it screws in. Normally the foam is, when I do this, the foam's already dry, so that helps. That's a good one right there. And the foam is starting. So now we'll just put them in just like this. We broke it just the same way. And we'll do the same thing. Let me get one of these, where are they? There they are up there. My edibles. So when the edibles are done, I just use these to prop up the, so I'll turn it on its back. God, this thing turned out to be just a genius idea. I want it up higher. I want it right here. So this one I'm actually going to close the lid. Come on, come on. Just like that. And as soon as this dries in a couple minutes, then I'll be able to reposition. This will be positioned how I want it. That one's not done yet, but let's just see. There we go. Now we'll throw some more of this on this side. Don't worry, nobody sees the underneath. With that, though, with the foam, the best thing to do, you can cut it after it dries. What I like to do is while it's foaming and expanding, I just go by and I take this and I just wipe it off, and then it's going to come. If you poke holes in it right here, it'll make it, the gases in it, so it just takes less time. But yes, I just go by and I take all the little pieces of foam out that I can do while it is drying, because once it's dried, sure, you can cut it. It's just more of a hassle. This is just easier to remove, like I said right there. And with the foam, what happens at the end is what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it underneath. So even if there's foam on there, you won't be able to tell when I'm done. This one is perfect. Boom, boom. We'll keep them upside down like this for a pick, a thumbnail. Now that looks like a first grader did it. Let's see. All right, at least it's getting hardened right there. Perfect. jeepers. I don't know. I kind of fucked that up. Not a big deal. So, mental note, from now on when I'm putting the hooks in, I'm just going to wait till the foam is actually dry, and then I'll go from there. So same thing on this one, you just kind of, this one is actually doing a lot better than the other one. So I should have just waited. So now I'm just going to, if I mess around with it more and more, throw a little gob of this on there. And the good thing is if I decide to put this in a beautiful structure, I just unscrew the bolt, whatever this is, the J-hook, and then I'm ready to go. So these are completely, oh Jesus, look at this one just goos out the, so that's what I mean when you put too much in. And then you just come back for the next 10 minutes, and I'll just keep doing this for 10 minutes. Normally I wear gloves because if you get this stuff on you, it does not come off. If you work with it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So as soon as it's hardened, as soon as it's dry, it'll stop expanding, and it's just doing its job. It's expanding foam, and that's what it's doing. So these are now officially, this part is done. I wish I could see questions for you. I'm going to be better at going live with you guys. I tried at first last year and the numbers weren't there. So if you could do me a favor and just share me out to all your friends if this is interesting, this is what I'm going to do for 25 years more until I retire. This is my new hobby. That's my new business. You can make money at this. So, I got shirts, hoodies, Seawolf coming. The website's here. We ordered a whole bunch of hoodies, t-shirts, sweats for after diving. What I am is I'm a diver. I go down, I collect lobsters. Not only do I collect lobsters, but I get the big ones. I get the huge ones. People say you can't cook them right and da-da-da-da. Shut up, people. You can. You just don't know what you're doing. So, I'm not a politically correct person. I don't care about your viewpoints about the environment. I do my job down there to protect the environment, and it is supervised by California Fish and Game. So if you think any kind of shenanigans are going on, think about this. I wear a GoPro on my helmet, so when a great white goes in front of me, you guys get to see it. When the great white looks at me with that dumb black big eyeball, it's soulless, you guys get to see it. Because I'm shooting halibut. And when you're shooting a halibut, it's like bringing the dinner bell down there. Right now it's not halibut season. We do have to fear the black sea bass more than the great white sharks. What I mean by that is this year, the protected black sea bass are now attacking divers, just coming up and grabbing their lobsters right out of their hand. So say you were lucky enough to find yourself a lobster and retain it. Now you got to fight for it with a federally protected fish. Now, they're about 400 pounds, and they can kill you. They bit my friend's hand on the lobster opener, and if you go back, you can watch. It's on Instagram, sorry. That's where I was. I was promoting myself on Instagram. Now I'm getting a little bit of traction, so I'm back here. I'm going to start doing more and more lives. I definitely want to do lives where I can see the comments, and that way I can answer questions. Anyway, you all have a blessed Friday, Happy New Year's, and I'll be popping back on to finish these up. But if you want to catch me every night, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Instagram or Facebook, Seawolf13 or Brent Mitsch, BrentMitsch. Go ahead. Just add me as a friend. I take everybody. I don't care who you are. I don't have any problem with anybody. People seem to have a problem with me because I'm so good at what I do, but hey, you know what? Life's too short for that, right, guys? I mean, we're watching life just pass us by, or you're going to participate. And for me, I like to participate. I like to go under the ocean. I like to grab my own food. I like to come up with new recipes. By the way, the next video coming out is lobster bisque, which I perfected. Well, my wife did and her friend. But we took lobster bisque. I have lobster stock. I take all these bellies that I don't taxidermy, and I get like 6 of them, and then we make lobster stock. Now, all summer long, when it's not lobster season, people come over to my house. I don't sell it. I don't trade it. I don't do anything. I just have parties. They come over, or I go over to their house, and we have lobster bisque, if you've ever had that, with real pieces of lobster in it. You're going to see it on the next video. Well, on New Year's Eve, we had steak with it. So I looked at it, I chopped the steak up into little cubes, and I tossed it in lobster bisque. The best surf and turf ever. I don't know why Chef Ramsay or I'm not calling anybody out, but I don't know why that Chef Ramsay hasn't come up with this. You're going to see it all over the internet. You're also going to see, I call them sea dogs, lobster dogs. I take the meat out of these, from the head and the legs and everything. And then I go and okay, now it's starting to hard, so this is perfect. This was exactly what you want to do. The gases are now calming down, they're formulating, and otherwise I would have just a big $2. This one went all the way down the tail. I put way too much into this one. So, anyway, I grind them up, and then I turn them into lobster sausages. You ask what that looks like? Let me show you. Let me turn off up here, because I'm done here. Let me just turn that off. These right here are lobster sausages. That's pure lobster meat. We did a Bavarian sausage. I have a market right by my house, a meat market. They're known for their Bavarian sausage, and compliments to the brewery. I'm not drinking yet. I still have to go. I have a couple businesses I run, so I'm going to go do that. I'll come back, and then I'll start editing. I would really like to just make this my main job, I'll be honest. I'd like to live in Alaska for 3 months out of the year, and that way I can go up there and get 200-pound halibuts, 3 of them a year. Where is the skin from there? Here it is. This is a 200-pound halibut, fully skinned. This is a leather from it. All this up here is leather. So I'm making clothing out of leather of halibut with my leather from, I can make wallets, I can make hats, I can make, I mean, can you imagine? This one, it was only like a 7-pound lobster. But can you imagine a jacket walking around like that, right? With the legs on it and everything. That is going to be sweet. So, when you ask, what do I do with 100% sustainability? This right here is that 200-pound halibut. Fin. This is a 30-pound halibut's fin, just so that you can get the size difference. That's the 200-pound. Yes, I brought that back. I didn't bring back any meat. The people up there had the meat. Here is the tail of the 200-pound halibut. There's no smell. I epoxied it. That's the bullet that was stuck in its spine. We shot it 5 times before you bring it on board. I have that. I can turn it into a bling chain if I want. A little too big for me. This is a normal size halibut. This one is about a 25-pound halibut. This is a 200-pound halibut. Get to know them. That's what it's about. Anyway, like I said, if you find this interesting, do me a favor, share me out. Comment if you want. Subscribe if you want. And let's get this ball rolling in 2025. And I'll just keep bringing you fresh content. What they did say, if you want to become successful at social media, is just put out original content. Well, I just showed you lobster dogs. I invented them. One of one, lobster skin Air Force One with a gaping asshole. I invented it. Gold chains with a 15-pound lobster fin that is the same fin as this little one. So this is a male. This is not a female. That's a male. Boom. Can you imagine the size of lobster that this was on? It's bigger than its tail. And what I did is I taxidermied that for my buddy. He brought it to me. He's having his first child. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see it. It's up there. They just painted the room pink. It's his first kid, and it's a girl. And they did ocean theme. And her dad, the unborn child's dad, caught a 15-pound lobster on the lobster opener in October. And he contacted me through the internet. Now we're good friends. I've already dove with him. If you go back and you look at my last night dive, it wasn't good conditions, but I survived and I got 4 fucking lobsters that I was able to take to a Christmas party, and we just had a fun time. 4 pounds of lobster meat. Anybody else bringing that to the party? No. $79 a pound. I'm not selling it. I'm not trading it. Just telling you what it is. So, that being said, bless you. Come on over. Follow me on all social media. SeaWolf13.